Hello everyone, this is Joel over at LaunchpadLegalMarketing.com. Today I wanted to do an overview on a question that we get here and there, and that is specifically doing no index and no follow scripts on particular pages or the whole website as a whole. So this question, in terms of legal marketing, doesn't come up that often because most of you would want your website to be found. There's not too many reasons why you would do a no index or a no follow tag on any particular page. It is rare, but it's not uncommon. So today I want to go ahead and we'll just do a quick overview on the basics of it, why you would or wouldn't use that, some common examples, and then also some implementation. I'll show you a couple different ways to implement these on pages on some of the most popular website builders, and even how to do it if you are using a website builder that is not that popular, where you're going to find these settings at. Okay, so initially, let's just talk about what a no index and a no follow tag are. A no index tag and a no follow tag can be applied to a page or a post or any particular anything on your website that has its own unique URL. For example, here the home page. Also, if we were to go and look at, let's see, let's find another page. Here's an example of another one, a website page or a portfolio page that we have here. It could even be part of a blog. So any blog that you put up, you can put that on there as well. And what this is initially no index is going to be a particular set of code that you are going to add into the page. And what this is doing is this is telling Google that you do not want them, and other search engines, not just Google, that you do not want them to index this page. And by index, we mean put it on Google. So think of when you do a search on Google for pizza near me. What this is this is a giant database, or think of it like an Excel spreadsheet maybe. And all of these listings are actually entries and different websites that are on Google. And other search engines will bring back these results based on the search and where you're at and all these other particular things. So, most people, as mentioned, do want particular pages just for their business to show up on a website such as Google or Bing or some of the other search engines. But in some situations, you want to tell the website, Google or others, that this particular page, I do not want to show up on search engines. And that would be a no index tag. And again, that's a piece of code that is inserted into the page. It's not visible to any users, but this will tell Google that, hey, when somebody does a search, I do not want to be in your database as a result, or I do not want this page to come up. I do not want you to take the information from this page and display it in any which way to anybody who may be searching for it. Similarly, a no follow tag is entered. It's a piece of code that's entered onto a page. And what that's going to do is it's going to tell the search engines not to follow links on the page. So for example, on this page, we have different links. We have links out to other websites. And we could easily tell Google, hey, I do not want you to follow the links on this particular site. I don't want you to look at this page and see where, or record or report back or put in the index where these links are going to. So that's different from no index. No index is telling Google, I do not want this page to show up on Google or other search engines. And the no follow tag is telling them, I do not want you to look at the links on this page and look at where they're going and use those to judge my website or the page that we sent them in from. So Let's look at some common examples of the no index tag. The no index tag essentially is, hey, Google and other search engines, I do not want this page to be in a search result. Sometimes this could be because maybe you have a private page. HubSpot actually wrote a pretty good article about this, and just going back to common uses on it, they break down what is the no index, what is the no follow tag, and some of the common uses, and really how to implement it. So this is a good resource, and we're bouncing back to this just because it does cover kind of all the basics there. So why would you exclude certain pages from there? And again, here we go. Duplicate content for SEO reasons. Maybe you have pages that are similar and you don't want to have Google get confused. Maybe a thank you page or a confirmation page or a shopping cart page. Those are pages where users on your site will eventually get there, but it's not anywhere where you want somebody to do a Google search for your name or your business and find that page. It provides no value to them. So those are common. Also, in some situations, you may want to exclude the page for whatever reason. Maybe there's content on there that you want available to your visitors or on your website as a whole, but you do not want Google to find it and put it in there. So, for example, on our website here, we may have a blog article that we had written and we're going to send out in a newsletter, and we want people to click on it, or we want other visitors here on the site to see it, but we don't necessarily want it to show up on Google. We don't want to receive any traffic or have that information out there available just to anybody who is searching. The no index tag, as we talked about, was for, or the no follow tag is going to be for links on your page. So, for example, we may say, hey, Google and other search engines, we do not want you to follow links on this site. Or on this page. And an example may be that, hey, maybe I built a particular website for somebody here. It was in our portfolio, but maybe that site has gone down, or maybe that site has changed, or maybe there's content on that website that we can't control. So in that situation, when Google follows links, they look at the link that you give and the content of how you gave that link, and they're going to judge you and score you and rank you based on that. So not only the links that you receive, but they look at the quality of the links that you send out. So in common situations, maybe you want to make a reference in a blog article to maybe a news site that you saw or something of that nature. You don't control the content of that site, and that can be updated. There could be comments on there. That site could get spammed, and when Google sees all this, they could say, well, wait a minute, this web page isn't very good. It's not very authoritative. So doing the no follow says that, hey, no matter what happens over there, we don't want you to associate it with us, even though we have a link to that. So those are kind of the common examples, linking out to content that you don't control. I think that they had a few other examples that we had seen on here. No follow, exactly when you can't control the other information, things of that nature. Okay, so let's take a quick look on how we are going to implement these things. With most website builders, they're going to have an SEO tool, and this is where that is going to be found. Let's just go ahead and take a look at one post that we have in draft here. And for WordPress, which is probably the most common website builder out there, you are going to have different plugins and different tools that you can use. By far, the most common is going to be the Yoast plugin. It's over 5 million active installations out there in the world. So if we wanted to do this particular blog and we said, you know what, we're going to publish this and we're using Yoast, we're going to say, you know what, let's go down to our Yoast settings. Specifically, we're going to go to Advanced, and right here it says allow search engines to show this post in search results. That's easy. It's a quick setting, and we are just going to say no. And then the second thing that we were talking about, the no follow, should search engines follow links on this post? We can say no. And that's it. That's all we have to do if you have some kind of SEO plugin. The second most popular SEO plugin for WordPress is going to be All-in-One SEO. And similarly, here we can look through and set the particular titles and descriptions that would show up in Google, but we can also go over to advanced, and we can say robot settings. Default? No. And robot means Google, search engines. They're little robots. They're little computers that are coming to check it. So essentially down here in this situation where we told Yoast to tell this page, no, we do not want search engines to get this page and display it. It is essentially at that point inserting a little piece of code on the back of the website page that tells the Google bot when it gets there, hey, no, we do not want you to be here, and we do not want this information to be on your search engine. So over here we see it called robot settings, and that's essentially the same thing, referring to the computers. Default, no. So you're looking for, typically default is going to be allowing the search engines. We go with undefault, and then we have all of our options. We can say, let's go ahead and no index it. Let's no follow it. Let's maybe no image index. I don't want the images on this page to show up into Google. All of these different options. No translate, you may have seen. So these are all just little snippets of code that by you checking the front box, it inserts into the page and tells Google when it gets there, hey, don't show this in search results. Other popular online builders, like for example Wix, they are also going to have these options. As we saw with the WordPress plugins between the Yoast and the All-in-One, it is going to look a little bit different here on Wix, and if you look at Weebly and some of the others, you are going to see it differently, but you will find the settings. So for example, Wix, we go here to Pages, we look at our pages, and then right here, Home, we see our options, SEO Basics, and then here, same thing, your option to do your title and your URL and your descriptions. And right down here, let search engines index this page. These are SEO basics. I'm willing to bet that they probably have a more advanced app or plugin you can plug in. But simply, let's just say, no, we don't want search engines to do this. And then lastly, some of the non-website builders that are not online or that are not kind of that open source or that premium, if it's an older site or something that's built more with code, on most pages you are going to have these options. Header script is where you're going to place it. You are manually putting code into the header on the page in question. So if we look at this great article that HubSpot did, it essentially has the cheat for the code. Here it is, no index. We would take that code, we would copy it, and we would paste it into our header. So if you're using an older website builder, you may see header script for the page, footer script for the page. I'm showing you this example. This is actually the script for the whole site, so you want to be careful that you're not going to place it in there. You're going to want to be looking for the page options. If you put a no index on the site as a whole, the whole site will not show up on Google. And I think your intention is probably just a particular page. So overall, that was kind of a quick basics on no index, no follow, why would you use them, when would you use them, and then 3-4 different ways that you can implement those onto your website, really in a matter of seconds. So hopefully that helped out. If you have any questions, you can definitely drop them in the comments bar below. Again, thank you guys for watching.